Definitely Casual PCs, and today in this video I'm going to be doing some much needed upgrades to the Kaypro XT here, including a video card, VGA card, a video card that's VGA, because I still don't have an EGA or CGA monitor yet, or Hercules, a sound card upgrade, and a CF to XT adapter to give this thing some storage so I can actually put some games on here and try out some games. So let's see how all these upgrades work and see how it runs some games. Let's get started. So this is an XT to CF adapter for machines with 8-bit ISA slots. Or it'll also work in the 16-bit slots too, but it's really for the 8-bit slots. These convert the 8-bit XT standard using these chips to convert it to a standard that a CF card can use, and then vice versa. It converts the IDE standard of the CF card to something an XT class PC can use. These are kind of all over the place on eBay and Amazon, Wish. Specialized companies sell these. These are for adding a hard disk solution to various models of PCs that normally wouldn't, or it'd be too costly to, or it'd be too much work to get an original one to work. So this one's from Blue Lava Systems, which it uses the universal XT to IDE BIOS, which is inside of this little ROM chip here, to allow it to act as a bootable hard drive using one of these CF cards. And this one actually came with this card. I got this on eBay for, I think it was, I want to say it was like 15-20 bucks, I think. And it says it's bootable, and when I plugged it into a test machine, it did say it had DOS 6.22 installed, but it had nothing for DOS 6.22. All it had was the command.sys file, which told it that it was a DOS 6.22, which allowed it to boot. There was no other files on it, no directories, nothing. So it wouldn't access floppy drives, it wouldn't access anything, but it booted. So the idea behind this is you install this into your machine of choice. Most of the time, these are used and recommended for XTs and XT clones and compatibles. These will work, quote, will, asterisk, in the original PC, the IBM 5150 and its clones, but it has to have a certain ROM revision, and I have not been able to test that out. But this will work in my Kaypro, the Turbo XT that I restored earlier on the channel. Now technically I actually got this, you actually saw the box this was in, which was just a little white box. It was on the table while I was restoring the Kaypro. It's because I kind of forgot I ordered this. It took a while to get here, and I actually just picked up the mail and I set this on the table while I was restoring it, or while I was recording anyway. And I originally had ordered this to replace the hard drive in the Tandy, the RLX HD that I have, because I found out the floppy drive might be dead. It doesn't work, so I have no way of getting software to it. Now in theory this would work, but I have to set these dip switches up in a certain way, and I haven't quite found the right combination. But this will work in my Kaypro. So let's go get that out. I'm gonna go plug this into my computer. I'm gonna copy some DOS files over, because I actually, a while ago, this is actually a very smart thing to do, is I actually installed DOS 6.22 to a virtual machine. I think it was DOSBox. And then I copied those files in such a way so that I could just basically copy and paste them into a folder into my documents file or folder on my main computer, just for this purpose, for copy and file DOS onto a CF card. And there's a lot of weirdness with doing it that way, but as long as you don't copy the command.sys and you instead copy everything else, like the directory and all the other files that's inside of DOS, not the command.sys, you can copy and paste them into this card and it doesn't matter. And the only files on here was the configuration file that configures these chips and this chip. Configures it to run in certain machines. And I did copy and save that, so if anything ever happens to this card, I can make a new card. And I know, yes, 64 megabyte doesn't sound like a lot, but considering most hard drives and XTs were 5 megabyte, 10 megabyte, 20 megabyte, this is just fine. So grab my XT, get it plugged in and working. I'll take this upstairs. I'll get some footage of me copying some files over, and we'll call it good. Okay, so we're back with my Kaypro. I've got the cover off, and I haven't really done much else to this. So let's grab the XT to CF adapter, and this goes right, we're going to put it right here. First slot. And I'm going to grab a video card. So I've actually got a program on here, on this little CF card, called Top Bench. And what's going to do is it's going to benchmark this PC, and it's going to tell me about what this thing's performance level is as it's sitting. It's got 640K of RAM. It's got 2 floppy drives. One's a 360K. One, I believe this bottom one is actually a 1.2 meg, which I actually might pull this one out and put something else in here. Not sure yet. Because I want to benchmark these 3 video cards. This one is the Western Digital one, which uses the Western Digital 90C30 1 megabyte. This Trident, which uses the TVGA 9000B, which I believe this is a 512K. And this ATI VGA Wonder 16, which I believe is a 256K as well. This is actually the oldest card from 1989, so technically this machine was sold in 1989, so this might have been a decent upgrade card for it. So I want to benchmark all 3 of these, see which one's the fastest, and then put the slowest one in this machine, because this thing wouldn't need that powerful of a video card. So I'm going to start with the oldest one. And there we go. Let's get the cover back on, a monitor, keyboard, and test her out. Grab my heavy mechanical keyboard here. Okay, so up here, these are all of the different options. So if I typed it in, if I typed A, it'd go to immediately go to floppy drive, and it would act like a normal XT clone from a bootable floppy that didn't have a hard drive. If I typed in C, it would just go straight to the card, which you might think is redundant, but the reason for that is that ROM chip that's on there, you can technically copy a ROM file to the CF card and then use this to program that ROM, and then you insert that ROM into like a network card or something that's bootable, and it would actually boot using that network card, and then it would have this card act as the hard drive, which honestly I don't have the reason to do that right now. So anyway, let's enter the current date, which is, I don't even know what day it is, I don't care, because it's I think it's 4:30 right now, I don't know. Okay, so and it goes to a DOS prompt, which I said before, and I didn't show it, which I probably should have. If I typed in directory, all it would have is the XT to IDE config file. But as you just saw, I copied a bunch of stuff over to here, including all the DOS files. I basically copied DOS 6.22 minus the command.sys. And oh, it is the 18th. I guess I didn't even realize it. Copied a bunch of games and a couple benchmarks because I want to see what this PC can do. I think it's top bench. Nope. So I kind of want to see what this computer does with this video card in this configuration, because I do have another upgrade I want to do to this, and it's going to be a more permanent upgrade once I get this stuff done. Okay, so what benchmarking does is all those computers you just saw. It's basically, the creator of this file basically benched all those computers with certain configurations, and the whole point is that when you get done building a PC like this, whether it's a XT, Turbo XT, AT clone, 486, 386, 286, whatever, you can benchmark it and kind of guess about what its performance level is going to be with the hardware you have. So, benchmark, real time. PC AT, cool. Well, it jumps between that and a, what was that, an IBM model 25? Okay, so 11's not too bad. So let's flip the switch down because this is a turbo model. And immediately drops down to a PC convertible, Tandy 1000EX, or an NEC V20 clocked at 4.77. So basically, right now with the switch turned on, it's basically acting like it's a normal 8088. But it's actually a V20, which this machine is. This is a Turbo XT. Look it back up. Okay. So we're gonna go back to, nope. Then we're gonna go CD, back to bench. Let's go to CD, PCP, bench. I don't know if this will run on this computer. I don't think it will, actually. Okay, so it will not run. No, okay, I'll still have to delete that. Because I'm dark. Get speed says this is going to basically check everything on this card, including how much RAM I have, video card, cache, everything. It should anyway. Unless this machine's not fast enough to run it. Which it might not. Okay, so unfortunately SpeedSys will not run. I don't know exactly why, but I popped the ATI VJ Wonder out, and we'll just use top bench to compare, even though it's not a true benchmarking. Let's try the Trident and see what numbers I get with this. Alright, so this is the Trident DVGA 9000B card. And since we know that the others aren't going to work, we'll just use top bench. You know, this isn't a true, accurate benchmarking tool to compare video cards. It'll at least tell me which ones gives it a little bit more power. In fact, I'm kind of betting it's going to be that Trident, because I think this Western Digital one's a little weaker, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. I picked up a scope, picked up a number, staying at 12, and now it's telling me it's a Mach 20 version of the PC 5150, which is the, I think that's the NEC V20 upgrade for it, or a PC AT 319 339 at 8 megahertz, or an XT clone JUCO. That's interesting because this is actually a JUCO board. So I wonder if that is such a common board that it was using so many XT clones that that's what it's doing. And let's see, it most closely matches this system, which has a NEC V20 at 11 megahertz, which is what this has, I believe. VGA with a ATI 256K VGA Wonder? That's what I just had. Or is there a fault with that card? Description with a V20 XT motherboard, JUCO type with 1 megabyte of RAM. Mine does not have 1 megabyte, mine has 640K. So, okay. Let's test out the other card real quick. Okay, so as it turns out, this card will not boot in this machine. I don't know if it's a jumper setting or a switch setting, but it will not give a video signal when it turns on. So it's possible that this card just doesn't have the right BIOS needed for this board, which is fine, because now I know that the Trident card is the most powerful one, and since it gave me the most stable signal, I'm going to probably hold off on using this card, because if it has a faulty... Ooh, there's a noise. Anyway, if there's a fault with this card, I want to not use it and not short something out. So I'm going to stick with the Trident. And so I'm going to leave that one in there. I might see if I can track down another one on eBay. But Another upgrade I'm going to do to this, and it's going to be a permanently installed upgrade until I get a actual card, is for sound. This thing uses a PC speaker, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But I want something that gives it a little bit better sound. So I'm going to try and install an audio card. And obviously this thing would be perfect for an ad-lib. Those are very expensive. If you've checked one on eBay, they are very, very pricey. And ad-lib clones, which I have no problem with, I'm actually going to get one eventually. I just don't have the available, I just don't have the spare funds to drop a $50, $60 clone card in here. So I was trying to, so I went online, did a bunch of research, trying to find an audio card that works with XTs and XT clones. And apparently there was something about the original Sound Blaster 16 being the ideal one because it has ad-lib compatibility, but it has to be a specific model. Like, it can't be the plug-and-play version or anything like that. It has to basically have some sort of weird older functionality. So I actually went onto a forum post that was talking about audio cards, and somebody had mentioned that he had tried and tested a card with a known chip. Now, this is a clone chip. This is the ESS Audiodrive, specifically the 1688 chip. This chip apparently has the best compatibility, or better compatibility, with the older XT standard. So this will work in the 16-bit AT ISA and 8-bit XT ISA slot, which is great because it has the audio output, inputs, and joystick, which, if I remember correctly, I think somebody did mention that when it's basically plugged in an 8-bit mode, that's basically the stickler here, is you have to find a sound card that will function in an 8-bit mode. Basically, anything that's past this 16-bit here will not function, so the ID controller won't work. I don't think the MIDI extension for the wavetable won't work. But the basic core functionality of the card, which is basically going to act as an ad-lib clone, should work, in theory. And I think this card will actually work, so we're going to plug in some speakers, and see if it works. Alright, we have some speakers hooked up here, which I want to use these because I'm trying to make sure that all my speakers work. So recap, I got the TVGA 9000B Trident video card here, with, I believe it's 512K of RAM. The ESS Audiodrive sound card acting in an 8-bit mode. I didn't see any jumpers to plug the PC speaker into it, so I might get PC speaker sound and whatever. But it's acting as an ad-lib clone, which is good. My keyboard, monitor, and the XT to IDE adapter. So, whoops. Let's try out some games. Okay. Not that this matters. Okay. Try some games. What do I got for games? Let's try Donkey Kong. Too many print. What? Oh, wait. There we go. Do you have a joystick? I do not currently. Do you want full color? Yes. Ooh. How do I... Okay. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. Oh. It's weird because it's running too slow in this mode, but it's almost running too fast in the other mode. Okay, let's try... Try Ace of Aces. Okay, so it's a CGA game. Still only getting PC speaker. Okay. I'm not sure how to fly. Okay, so it plays Ace of Aces. But I want to try something with VGA mode. Is there anything that does? I know these are all 80s games, but still, come on. Let's try Ultima, because I know that both have a pretty good sound. Basically, I just want to see if it will actually play the correct sound. The day I get a better capture system going, so I don't have to worry about a tripod. Oh, let's just install it. Hard disk. C. Okay, so what do I have for graphics modes? Hercules, CGA, EGA, Tandy 16, or my VGA. Let's try VGA. No, I do not have a mouse. Okay, what do we have for sound options? We have AdLib, Creative Music, Tandy 1000, Roland MT2 32 MIDI, Kovacs, Innovation. I am using a AdLib. IO port address. Let's try D. Correct. I'm gonna get the right sound. Ooh. It is playing the right sound. That doesn't sound too bad. Come on, focus. Focus. I swear to God. Okay, so we got Commander Keen. It says it requires an XT computer with 570K of free conventional memory, which I think I do have. Gravis, joystick, and AdLib, which I do have the AdLib. I think that's the right. Nope. Oh, it's just Keen. Okay, I think I have to go to, I think it's King 4E. Yep. Okay, so it's detecting EGA, VGAs, analyze your AdLib, keyboard, memory available. Okay, cool. Is this going to work? Might run a little slow, but we will see. Not bad. Whoops. And there we go. All the upgrades I'm going to be doing for now to this XT clone here. I am going to track down some RAM chips to kick it up to 1 megabyte. It's not needed because there's not a single game I can think of that would require that much RAM, but it's a just in case. Which means I'll have to track down I think there's a special driver for it. At some point, I'm going to take the... I want to get an actual ad-lib clone card for it, because that audio drive I actually had plans for something else. It's just, it works. It's the only card I have that'll work as an actual 8-bit ad-lib card. I want to put a I/O card in here so I can get a mouse working, because I have a couple games that do require a mouse. But for right now, this is done. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I do upload more content. Put anything down in the comments, any game you want to see, any upgrades you think I could use for this, or any specific parts I could put in here to make it a little bit better. Like maybe I'll put a floppy controller to put a 3.5-inch drive in here, which would be a lot better than 2 5.5 drives. But until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.